Methods for dealing with dangerous ghosts. Ghosts are a popular topic of conversation in many cultures, and have been present in stories, art, and folklore for centuries. They are typically defined as the spirit of a deceased person that is believed to inhabit certain places, and to appear in visions or dreams. While some people may simply be curious about ghosts, it is important to be aware that some ghosts can become dangerous. This video will discuss the definition of a ghost, reasons why ghosts may become dangerous, methods for identifying the source of the ghost's anger, establishing boundaries with the ghost, and utilizing spiritual tools to capture and remove the ghost from an area or home. While some ghosts may simply be curious or playful, it is important to remember that some ghosts can become dangerous. For thousands of years, ghosts have been a part of human folklore and mythology, with different nations and traditions presenting their own interpretations of these paranormal beings. In some instances, ghosts are thought of as kind spirits that continue to exist in the present for unknown reasons. However, in other instances, ghosts are seen to be deadly, evil spirits that threaten the living. In popular culture, dangerous ghosts are frequently portrayed as spirits that do not find peace in death and aim to harm the living. These beings could be the outcome of a terrible or violent death, such as suicide or a murder, or they could be the manifestation of negative energy or fury that has become imprisoned in the physical universe. Some people think that these deadly spirits are capable of murder, physical harm, and even possession. These beings are frequently portrayed as being evil and wanting to harm the living. When dealing with ghosts, it is important to be aware of the potential dangers that they may pose. Unresolved trauma and unresolved issues from their life can cause a ghost to become dangerous, as can anger towards those living or sensing and reacting to the fear of those living. To ensure one's own safety when dealing with ghosts, it is essential to understand how best to identify and deal with dangerous ghosts. Signs that a ghost may be potentially dangerous include sudden changes in temperature, objects being hurled violently without explanation, threatening noises coming from seemingly empty rooms, physical interactions such as pushing or hitting people in the dark, and more. If you sense any of these signs near a ghostly presence, it is important to take measures for your safety, such as leaving the area immediately if possible or calling a paranormal expert for assistance. Taking precautions like this will help ensure both your safety and peace of mind when encountering potentially dangerous spirits. Throughout history, there have been many legends and stories of dangerous ghosts. The legend surrounding King Hamlet's ghost has captured the imaginations of people for centuries since it was first introduced in William Shakespeare's famous play Hamlet. In this drama, we learn that the dead king's ghost haunts the Danish court to take revenge for all the wrongs done against him during his lifetime. Another well-known illustration is the story of La Llorona, a furious ghost who, according to legend, stalks rivers throughout Mexico and Central America searching for her missing children. This folklore has been passed down through generations across Latin America as a cautionary tale about neglecting one's children or family members. Through these two examples, it is clear that tales of dangerous ghosts have existed in cultures around the world for centuries and still haunt us today. When encountering a ghost, it is important to remain calm and assess the situation. If the ghost appears to be playful or curious, try talking to them in a friendly manner and asking them questions such as why they are there or what their story is. However, if the ghost begins exhibiting threatening behavior, it may be best to leave the area immediately. If possible, contact a professional paranormal investigator who can help determine how best to deal with the spirit safely. Identifying the source of a ghost's anger or trauma is an important first step in dealing with dangerous ghosts. Doing so can give insight into their current state of mind and help to develop a plan for resolving the situation. In some cases, talking to the ghost and learning about their life can be beneficial in gaining understanding into why they are in such distress. Other times, it may be necessary to consult with a spiritual advisor or other expert who has knowledge on paranormal activities and can provide guidance as well as assistance if needed. Additionally, researching local folklore related to hauntings may also uncover useful information that could help ease tensions between humans and spirits alike. When attempting to set boundaries with the ghost, it is important to be clear and firm. This will allow the ghost to understand that certain behaviors are not acceptable. Some ways of setting boundaries may include creating a physical boundary line around an area where the ghost's activity has been most active, or placing symbolic objects in specific places as a way of asking the ghost not to cross them. It is also important to note that some ghosts do not respond positively when faced with attempts at setting boundaries. These cases should be handled carefully, and consulting an expert on paranormal matters can help create strategies for safely managing these entities without causing further distress or harm. Different societies have evolved strategies for coping with perilous spirits throughout history. In some cases, a person may attempt to drive away the ghost or spirit by themselves through physical means such as burning objects associated with the entity. Additionally, exorcisms or other religious rituals have been utilized in many cultures to cast out the ghost or spirit and grant the deceased's soul peace. These rituals frequently involve the use of prayers, incantations, offerings of food or goods from affected individuals, sacred chants performed by a shamanic figurehead such as a priest or shaman, and/or other spiritual acts intended to cleanse an area of negative energies that might be attracting malevolent entities. In order to ensure success in these practices, it is important that all participants remain focused on their goal and maintain faith in their ability to send away any unwelcome guests. Herbs and other natural cures have been employed by numerous cultures to fend against or drive away ghosts. For instance, burning sage is used in the Native American practice of smudging, which involves lighting the herb and letting it burn while walking around a room from one corner to another. This ritual is said to purify a space and repel any evil spirits such as ghosts. Salt is occasionally used to build a barrier around a house for protection against supernatural threats like ghosts because some people think it has protective properties that ward off malevolent entities. Holy water is believed by some cultures to be capable of warding off spiritual beings, so it is sometimes sprinkled around rooms or doorways as an additional layer of defense in order to keep out unwelcome guests like restless spirits. Crystals have been used for thousands of years to protect and guard against spiritual forces. Crystals such as quartz, amethyst, and obsidian can be placed around a home or in areas where the ghost is known to appear in order to create an energy field that will repel it. Additionally, rituals such as sage smudging or prayer can also be used with crystals to strengthen their effect. However, it is important that these tools are used carefully. They should not be attempted without the guidance of an expert who has experience dealing with ghosts, as incorrect use could lead to further complications or even harm. If done properly though, these spiritual tools can make up a very effective part of any comprehensive plan for dealing with dangerous ghosts. The idea of dangerous ghosts has been around for thousands of years, and it is still prevalent in popular culture today. In classic horror films like The Exorcist and Poltergeist, evil spirits are often portrayed as powerful entities that can cause significant damage to the living. More modern TV shows like Supernatural also portray malevolent ghosts, but they often draw on multiple sources such as myths, cultural beliefs, and modern anxieties and fears. The combination of these elements creates a vivid picture of what it might be like if supernatural forces were real. These representations of perilous ghosts frequently reference the myths and cultural beliefs mentioned earlier, but they also reflect modern anxieties and fears. Dangerous ghosts are commonly represented in popular culture as vengeful spirits that seek retribution for something they experienced while alive. These beings can take over a person's body, cause harm and even death to those around them, making them fear for their lives. This type of representation is often used to evoke our deepest fears about life after death and what happens when we die. It also raises the question of whether or not there is indeed an afterlife, and if so, what it entails. Additionally, the presence of these dangerous ghosts may be symbolic of unresolved issues from their previous life that still linger on in some form after their physical bodies have passed away. Thus, these representations act as cautionary tales warning us against leaving behind unfinished business before we leave this world. Ghosts have long been used in popular culture to represent the consequences of our actions and how they can haunt us. This is a warning that if we don't treat others with respect and compassion, then there will be dire consequences for our own lives and those around us. In many cases, these representations are meant to frighten people into being more empathetic towards one another. It's also an exploration of karma. What goes around comes around. From classic horror films such as The Shining to modern-day television shows like Supernatural, stories featuring ghosts often explore the idea that our deeds will come back to haunt us if we're not careful. These depictions serve as warnings that no matter how hard we try to ignore them, the effects of our words and actions will remain with us forever, whether in life or death. It's vital to remember that there is no scientific proof of ghosts' existence, and many people are still dubious about them. People who are skeptical about ghosts frequently point out that hallucinations, sleep paralysis, or other psychological issues can frequently explain stories of ghost sightings or encounters. They contend that exorcisms and sage smudging are not scientifically supported and may not be viable ways to deal with hazardous ghosts. Skeptics are quick to point out that the idea of deadly ghosts is a fabrication, something our minds have conjured up out of fear and uncertainty. They argue that there is no solid proof of their existence, only stories from various cultures that suggest otherwise. Such stories, of hauntings, possessions, and other supernatural phenomena, seem to be rooted in ancient folklore and may be more indicative of superstition than any real evidence. Consequently, skeptics view these tales as mere cautionary tales used by societies to warn against straying into unknown realms or engaging in activities considered taboo or immoral. In this way, they believe the dread surrounding ghosts is simply a product of human imagination, an aversion to things we don't understand or which threaten our sense of control over our environment. In conclusion, this video has discussed the definition of a ghost, reasons why ghosts may become dangerous, methods for identifying the source of the ghost's anger, establishing boundaries with the ghost, and utilizing spiritual tools to capture and remove the ghost from an area or home. Further research should be done in order to better understand how best to identify and deal with dangerous ghosts. Readers should also be aware that it is possible for ghosts to become dangerous, and should take caution when dealing with them in order to ensure their own safety. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to Connect Paranormal. This will allow us to make more videos. Thanks for watching.